The Jacksonville Jaguars playbook is stocked with some of the most powerful plays in the entire game. So we're going to look at 3 different formations here in the Jaguars playbook. And starting off, we are in the formation gun trips tight end. Now, if you run gun trips tight end, you always want to run this with your formation flipped so that your trips receivers are lined up on the wide side of the field. And right here, I'm in the play RPO alert bubble. This is a zone coverage destroyer. Any RPO bubble screen is a zone coverage destroyer. And if your opponent is not accounting for the bubble screen, you can just snap this ball, throw it outside. These blocks hold really well and get easy yards on the edge and down the sidelines. I have had these plays go for 1-play touchdowns if our opponent is not guarding it properly. And so you always want to have an RPO alert bubble in your scheme if you're in any trips formation. They are just so good. And it's just so annoying for your opponent to have to always account for these bubble screens and think about them. Now, the second play I want to look at in gun trips tight end is going to be the play verticals. This is another zone coverage annihilator. And the only adjustment we're going to make is take our running back and put him on an in route. Now, the first read on this play is one that people don't usually think about, but it's actually going to be the middle trips receiver up the seam. Because what can happen is that, especially if your opponent is in something like cover 3, the seam gets left open right off the snap. So if we go ahead and snap this ball, you can see that you can just instantly throw to him and steal a ton of yards on the outside. And now you've got your opponent trying to be like, oh gosh, am I just going to have to play man coverage now? And we can destroy man coverage super easily. But it is just another nightmare, a complete headache for your opponent to deal with. Now, besides that, one adjustment you can also optionally make on this verticals play is to take your outside trips receiver and put him on a comeback route. So if you're running verticals a lot and you find that you're never throwing to that outside guy, that's where the comeback route can add an extra read to this play. Because if your opponent is in that shaded down cover 3, or let's even say that they go ahead and start running, let's just say this, let's just say they run some man coverage because they're like, I simply cannot stop this formation with zone coverage. Well, comeback routes are just incredible man beaters, and so all you have to do is wait for your receiver to get through his break, and you have an easy completion on the outside. And so honestly, with verticals, I prefer to always put that guy on a comeback route because I found myself not really throwing to that streak anyway. Now, we of course have our running back on this in route still, and so if your opponent is not playing shaded down cover 3, then you can of course hit the running back underneath after he leaks out of the backfield, just passing that ball up, and that's an easy 9 or 10 yard gain right there.